Mrs. Walker hid my MIT acceptance letter for months while making me clean wealthy students' toilets and write their essays. When I finally confronted her, she smiled and said, "You would have struggled there. I've saved you from disappointment." I didn't say a word. That was 11 months ago. This morning, she was sitting in her car outside the school, shaking. I was 15 when I lost my scholarship to a private school. My mom had just been laid off from her accounting job, and suddenly we couldn't afford the $8,000 family contribution that came with my merit scholarship. I'd worked since 6th grade for that scholarship. Perfect grades, debate team captain, volunteer tutoring at the library every Saturday. The day I had to clean out my locker, I couldn't stop crying. Mom held me in the parking lot, promising we'd figure something out, but we both knew that school was my only shot at MIT. Then Mrs. Walker called. The guidance counselor said she'd found a solution, a special work-study scholarship that would cover everything. "Maddie's too talented to lose," she told my mother over speakerphone. "She'll do some after-school jobs around campus, help with peer tutoring. It'll look fantastic on college applications." Mom cried with relief. I remember her kissing my forehead, saying Dad would have been so proud. We signed the paperwork that afternoon. My first day back, Mrs. Walker handed me a color-coded schedule. Peer tutoring started at 3:15 with Naomi, whose family name was on the new science building. I expected to help her with calculus. Instead, she handed me her homework and left for tennis practice. When I hesitated, Mrs. Walker appeared behind me. "Leadership means supporting your peers however they need," she said, her smile never reaching her eyes. By week 2, I was doing homework for 8 different students. The campus assistance was worse. Every evening after tutoring, I reported to different dorm rooms. Officially, I was helping with organization and time management. Actually, I was scrubbing toilets, folding designer clothes, and organizing closets full of shoes worth more than our rent. The wealthy students started calling me Maddie the maid when teachers weren't around. Some were crueler, leaving messes on purpose, timing how fast I could clean. I smiled through it all because Mrs. Walker reminded me daily that ungrateful scholarship students could be replaced. My old friends stopped inviting me places. How could I explain why I smelled like bleach after school, or why I was always carrying shopping bags for other students? They saw me delivering Naomi's presentation in AP history, one I'd written at 2 a.m. after cleaning her bathroom, and assumed I was her friend now. When Naomi got into Yale early admission, everyone congratulated her on the brilliant essay about overcoming adversity. I'd written every word while she got spray tanned for homecoming. Mom never questioned why I came home exhausted, or why I stopped talking about debate team. She was working 2 jobs herself, grateful I still attended private school at all. I told her the work-study program was really preparing me for college. At night, I'd stare at my MIT brochures and tell myself this was temporary. Just 2 more years of servitude, then freedom. I still did my own homework after finishing everyone else's, maintaining my 4.0 GPA even if I was too tired to see straight. Everything shattered senior year. I'd been checking the mail obsessively for months, knowing MIT decisions would arrive in March, but May came with nothing. When I asked Mrs. Walker about my applications, she said she'd check with the college counselor. Then she smiled that cold smile and told me about an incredible opportunity. The Prescott family wanted me as their full-time assistant for senior year. "Live-in position, Maddie. You'll learn so much about running a household." I refused. For the first time in 2 years, I said no. I needed to focus on my actual future, not theirs. Mrs. Walker's face went rigid. She pulled out my work-study contract and pointed to section 47B. "Student agrees to accept any assignment deemed educational by program coordinator." Refusing meant immediate expulsion. Plus, my mother would be sued for $120,000, the cost of my education since freshman year. "The Prescotts expect you Monday," she said. "Pack light. They'll provide uniforms." That night, I ran to the college counseling office. I knew where they kept the application records. My hands shook as I searched through the files, and then I found it. A letter for me dated from March. "Congratulations. You have been accepted to MIT with a full merit scholarship." Mrs. Walker had hidden it. I confronted her the next morning, shaking with rage. She didn't even pretend to be sorry. "You would have struggled there," she said calmly. "I've saved you from disappointment." When I threatened to expose everything, the illegal labor, the academic fraud, she opened her laptop. There I was in dozens of photos and videos, carrying Naomi's shopping bags, typing her essays, accepting cash from students. "Who do you think they'll believe orchestrated this scheme?" she asked. "The respected guidance counselor or the desperate scholarship student?" I stared